defense minister's words contrast with what Iran and the U.S. were saying for the past few days now, accusing one another of foiling the negotiations. Why do you think the minister is more optimistic in this regard?
Well, thank you very much for having me. I think we really can't say that there is a total collapse of the dialogue. The dialogue is on. Of course, there are some differences, serious differences on two major issues, primarily that is the Hormuz, state of Hormuz, and the nuclear issue. And that's why I think Pakistan's effort has really brought good fruits for this discussion. This is a long conflict. This has a history of around 47 years. So the processes do take time. Once you're meeting after 47 years of gap, a few months back, few weeks back, you were not in a position you were not even taking these positions to talk directly in Oman and in Doha as well. The talks were indirect. So this time the direct talk was taking place. So primarily three things happened. One, that there was a ceasefire which was implemented. Then this conflict transited from military escalation to the dialogue. And then they were sitting together. They discussed for more than 21 hours. So it's a long period. But considering the strategic nature of this conflict, I think it is the natural pace which such dialogues takes place. And of course, still diplomacy has a lot of chance. And even President of United States today, he said that we can negotiate. Foreign Minister of Iran has very clearly said that the doors of diplomacy can't be shut. So probably there are larger chances that these negotiations are going on. And to be very honest, sometimes it happens that for the public consumption, or maybe on the face of it, you feel a collapse. But the warring factions, they do communicate, they do continue with their talks. Still, the diplomacy has a prominent chance to succeed.
I do have to say that's an optimistic view at the situation, because a member of the Iranian delegation told us he and others faced some difficulties in order to ensure they wouldn't be shot down by the U.S. and Israel after the talks. What do you make of this claim?
Sorry, you were distorted. If you can repeat your question, my apologies.
Yes, I was saying that a member of the Iranian delegation told us that after the talks, he and some other members of the delegation were afraid that they might be shot down by the U.S. and Israel after those talks. So they had to ensure and conduct certain procedures. What do you make of these claims?
I don't think so. That Pakistan made sure that no such attacks or no shooting down or maybe taking on any member of the delegation. Though it happened in past in Doha, Qatar, once their delegation was there, they were targeted. But Pakistan had very clearly indicated, and the Pakistanis were very clearly telling United States of America that make sure that no such incident takes place. That's why, because Pakistan was supposed to be ensuring the security of both the delegations and even the Iranian delegation. So these lines are very clearly spelled out. And I don't think so that this could have happened, especially after they're moving into Pakistan and moving out of Pakistan.
And in your opinion, why hasn't Israel participated in these talks as a sovereign entity, especially given that it plays a massive role in the assault on Iran?
I mean, the Americans were representing the warring factions. But there's a larger sense that this war is taking place because of the Israeli pushing President Trump into this war. And secondly, Pakistan don't recognize Israel as of now. And then it was the major conflict is between United States of America and Iran. So if Iran and United States of America, they agree to something, then we are assured that United States of America will ensure that Israel abide by that agreement. That's why the Israelis were not here. And secondly, this delinking of United States from this war is very, very important. Even in United States of America, there is that this thinking is starting now there. This is taking place, this is taking position that there are few circles and individuals who are thinking that this Israel is a strategic partner or strategic liability, because now American people have started thinking that this war has been undertaken because of the Israelis and Netanyahu's pressure. So why are they spending American public money, taxpayers' money on this war, which has no political objectives for United States, but more objectives are for Israel. That's why Israel is not there. Even other conflicts also, there is no direct talk with Israel many a times.
And let's talk about the mediators, because reports say that the mediation efforts are currently being pushed by Pakistan, Turkey, and Egypt. Why do you think these particular set of countries is showing an interest? And do you expect their efforts to be successful?
Look, there is a serious disorder in the world. Let us confess that, and especially the management, conflict management, is at a very low. And the institutions like United Nations or OIC or other institutions, they have lost their credibility. Unfortunately, they have been undermined. So it's Pakistan, it's countries like Pakistan, like Turkey, like Egypt. They have the leverages of their friendship with the United States as well as Iran. And secondly, Iran has more trust on such countries. And otherwise, the big powers, even Russia, as you know, they are involved in the war. So probably these are the only countries which are providing a sufficient ground, which are the natural and neutral, countries and partners. And Pakistan, over a period of time, has played this. Has come up as is a natural net stability provider in the world. It's a bridge. Pakistan has already played a great role in bringing Iran and Saudi Arabia even closer. In the past, China and Americans also were brought together a little closer because of Pakistan. And Pakistan has been trying to improve upon the intra-Arab relationship between Iran and other Arab countries. That's why they trusted Pakistan. And even after the talks, you must have heard that Vice President Vance and the Iranian delegation, the Speaker Ali Bah, they were very clear that they appreciated the role of Pakistan. So that's why these are the countries who can bring these warring factions together, and they can at least work together for the larger peace. And they're being trusted by both the parties.
Regarding Lebanon, on the first day of the ceasefire, Israel unleashed hell on the country, saying afterwards that it was simply not a part of the deal, contrary to what Pakistan and Iran were saying. How would you explain such a huge discrepancy in what each side took away from the preliminary talks?
I think Israel is the biggest spoiler. That's the elephant in the room, and everybody understands that why Israel is a spoiler, because they are pursuing the expansionist designs of theirs. So this there is a larger feeling in the world, and that this is a fact also, unfortunately, that this Jewish Zionism has the expansionist design, the formula for the. They have the plan for the greater Israel. So they need friction. The friction is their requirement to pursue their expansionist designs in the region. That's why they're considered that they are the spoilers. And to be very honest, they are the biggest beneficiaries of this conflict between Iran and the United States. It was President Trump. They have been trying over a large period of time. They have been trying to bring in the United States, pitch them against Iran, put them in the war. But this happens only this time once the President Trump is there. So they need friction. That's why they have been trying all their efforts to spoil these dialogues. But United States of America must have. One thing was there, that they stated that they will go by with the decisions and with the agreement if United States is able to construct some agreement with Iran. So they are the spoilers, they're the concerns, they're kind of a strategic liability for the United States of America, though this is their bilateral issue, but this is the larger context of the game.
We are beginning to run out of time, but I do want to ask you this one more question. So Pakistan is one of the 5 countries that Iran named friendly, which means it won't face any fees for transiting through the Strait of Hormuz. But now the U.S. has introduced, at least reportedly, at this point, its own blockade, which is supposed to prevent everyone from trading Iranian oil or using Iranian ports. Do you think the interests of Pakistan and other U.S. allies in the region were taken into consideration? And if possible, briefly, please.
I think it's a complex situation. The blockade by United States of America is an extremely dangerous proposition. And it's not only Pakistan, but other countries will also have reservation about this blockade. I think it's a pressure tactic which President Trump has adopted, and probably to put more weight into the negotiations are trying to put pressure on Iran so they agree to the terms and conditions which they want. But anyway, this blockade by United States of America will have international implications, even because mostly the Chinese will be disturbed with this kind of act. Let's see. It has recently been implemented. Let's see how it unfolds. But I personally feel that their blockade will be a big challenge. And if it again militarizes this region, the state of Hormuz, or if this bring back the escalation, so this is going to be very, very dangerous. And I don't think so this can continue for a longer period of time. I think state of Hormuz is a big issue, but both the countries, Iran and America, they must understand that there are other stakeholders in that, and then their role will also come into play.
Major General Zahid Mahmoud, principal at N.U.S, the Institute of Peace and Conflict Studies. Thank you so much for finding the time and sharing your analysis with us.
Thank you very much for having me.